Hello everyone, welcome to our channel once again. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates, and also leave a comment to express your thoughts on this. Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party and former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, will commence the tours of states with high incidences of flooding across all geopolitical zones in the country on Tuesday. A statement released by his media advisor Paul Ibe stated that the PDP presidential flag bearer shall be visiting Bayelsa State to kickstart the tour. This was as a presidential candidate of Labour Party and former governor of Anambra State Peter Obi and Bayelsa State Governor Senator Diri called on the federal government and other donor agencies to quickly come to the aid of the state, and as the number of internally displaced persons swelled daily in Bayelsa State. Both lamented the havoc and destruction left by the rampaging flood, which is yet to recede, saying that no state can handle both the humanitarian and infrastructural effects of the flooding alone. According to the statement by Atiku's aide, Ibe, the tours to states ravaged by flooding become incumbent in view of the trauma that the incidents have caused its victims. Ibe recalled that the PDP presidential candidate had supported flood victims in Jigawa, Yobe, and Kano in recent past. According to Ibe, Atiku was also the first candidate to speak on the issue and had counseled that persons living around the most vulnerable areas on need to be temporarily evacuated following the alert by the Meteorological Agency that a further 24 states face the risk of major flooding. Labour Party's presidential candidate Obi flew into Yenagoa in a chopper and was received at the government house before proceeding to the IDP camp at Oxbow Lake to identify with the over 4,000 men, women and children who are victims of the flooding. He was in the state to offer his sympathy and support to the state government and the victims of the ravaging flood. While speaking at the IDP's camp, Obi lamented that the destruction and large numbers of out-of-school children that were now in the camps. Governor Diri, who thanked the presidential hopeful for a show of support, called on the federal government and other well-meaning organizations and individuals to join the state government in providing succor to the flood victims. Also speaking, the State Commissioner for Environment and Chairman, Bayelsa State Flood Mitigation Committee, Mr. Isilema Barambiri, said despite the present challenges, the state is committed to providing comfort for citizens who are at the various IDPs camps established to accommodate victims of the unprecedented flood. He said the flood has so far ravaged over 300 communities and rendered 700,000 individuals, including children, women, and the aged, homeless. Paramiri disclosed that more than 4,000 flood-displaced individuals were being camped at the Oxbow Lake camp alone, adding whatever they are doing there is being replicated at the Igbongene camp and other camps. The Environment Commissioner added that relief materials, including food items, have also been distributed, while the second phase of distribution will soon take place, while mobile clinics are going around the state to attend to medical emergencies. He called on relevant federal agencies to come to the aid of the victims in order to not to fester the feeling of neglect by the central government among the displaced persons. Duba appealed to residents of the flood-ravaged state to desist from building on water channels, stating that disregard for natural water channels contributed to the current flood situation in the state. He also called on populace to be conscious of the environment and ensure proper disposal of refuse, saying that most dam drainage systems in the state were discovered to have been blocked by refuse, including discarded plastic bottles and polythene bags.
Well, I'm so glad that most of the presidential candidates are, showing concern and also trying as much as possible to see what they can do to help the flood victims in Nigeria. And these flood victims, this call for a national emergency, and also the world as a whole. The United Nations should also come up and assist in this flooding, because this is, as far as I'm concerned, is a national disaster. And it's a national disaster, and it's one of those things we see as a natural disaster. The flood, in some states is worse than some other states. Like if we take, for instance, the Bayelsa state, let's say 80% of Bayelsa is swallowed up by water. 80%. we made a call to somebody who is in Bayelsa State, and they were lamenting. On the street of Bayelsa, you cannot, anywhere you are going to be on water. That is how bad it is. You know, and well-meaning Nigerians and the presidential hopefuls are trying as much as possible to identify with the victims of this flood in those states. Presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has scheduled his state visit to all the most hit flood in the country, and he's kicking off his meetings with visit with Bayelsa State on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And you know, this is a welcome development. Most of them has suspended their campaign after Peter Obi of Labour Party made a call to that effect. Most of them has stopped, put a stop on their campaign to go and commiserate with these victims of this flood, uh, affected flood victims, and also see how they can assist them in getting back on their feet. This is not an easy one. This is not an easy one. Like I said earlier, that this gesture is not just within Nigeria. The United Nations should wake up, should come also to the aid of these people, because this effect is not going to, it's not going to last. It's not going to be just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week. If care is not taken, it's going to last for a very long time. The effect of this flooding, because this water has destroyed properties worth of millions. Life has been lost. So by the time the water level goes down, people are going to start their life all over again. All over again. So as it is right now, they need assistance. They need assistance as much as possible. There is no amount of assistance given to anyone that is affected on this floor that is too much. That's my belief. There is no amount of assistance support that is too much. So all well-meaning Nigerians, United Nations, the federal government, the emergency commissions should stand up and come to the aid of these people and do whatever they can to put a smile on their face. I know there is no way they can actually take care of everything, but those little support will give them hope to stand all over again. Well, this is what it is. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming, and the victims are. I didn't see it coming also, because no, if this has if there has been a pre-notified about this flood, many people would have been caught up in this mess, in this disaster. Just imagine a state like Bayelsa and Kano and even Benue. Those states are hit very high when it comes to this flooding. I pray that God will give them the grace to bear these losses they have incurred, and also give them that grace to stand firm, to start all over again. Well, I want you to feel free to comment below. Let's know your thoughts concerning this, and also subscribe to our channel for more to come. Thank you.